2020 is almost over, but COVID and its aftermath are not. Uncertainty still lingers worldwide. We all await a vaccine with utter hope as we transition into the new year 2021. Against this backdrop, it only makes sense to carry forward the money lessons and financial experiences learned from 2020 into 2021 and apply them until the dust settles. To help you with this, we spoke to 5 experts who gave us financial resolutions to set the money ball rolling for and into 2021. But before we get to these big bang resolutions, here are some crucial learning these experts shed light on for us. Increased interest in real estate, more importance to insurance and contingency funds are some key changes in one's financial planning brought about by COVID. Raj Khosla, founder and MD, MyMoneyMantra.com, shares his learning with us.
There have been severe gaps in both life and health insurance. Some of us in the corporate sector are covered by group health insurance and have incorrectly presumed that that may be enough. Not so. Others have not covered the health of their families in any way whatsoever. Even more threatening, several breadwinners have not taken out an adequate life cover.
It is true indeed. Did you know that the pandemic has increased sales of even rupees 1 crore health covers? Rakesh Jain, ED and CEO, Reliance General Insurance, agrees. His takeaway has been
COVID-19 has clearly highlighted that risk can manifest in various forms and hit hardest the people who were uninsured or underinsured. The people who did not buy insurance frankly were caught unawares. To highlight in the COVID-19, the country at large has seen almost 15,000 crores of claims, and at Reliance General Insurance, we have paid over 200 crores of claims in this period.
Deepali Sen, Certified Financial Planner, founder, Srujan Financial Advisors LLP, highlights the need to safeguard one's dependents. Here's how.
One should have adequate emergency fund or contingency fund. One should be appropriately covered for self and one's senior and junior dependents for medical insurance. One should have a right amount of life insurance so that if one were to pass away, their dependents' needs are not compromised. So net, long story short, 2020 has asked us to be better prepared for any surprise.
Emergencies can be health or wealth related or both. So along with insurance, saving and building emergency buffers have taken top priority for many. Rituparna Chakraborty, co-founder and EVP, Teamly Services, highlights this in her big lesson for us.
We've always known, but seldom practiced, and which is save for the rainy day. In spite of the exigencies, in spite of the challenges, in spite of in some cases, financial stress, if we actually manage our consumptions, manage our spending and expenditures wisely, it's not so difficult. Yes, when we earn, we should definitely spend on ourselves for our gratifications, but I think there's always a merit because we never know when exigencies like pandemics going to hit us next.
Being insured and protected is one of the many pillars of financial health. Being debt-free is another one. Imagine the worst-case scenario. A borrower has EMIs due on a loan, personal or home. He ends up losing his job or falling prey to a pay cut. What's more, he has dependents whose well-being he is in charge of. That is quite a death suit to find yourself in. Keeping such worst-case financial scenarios in mind can help us plan our finances better, since we never know when the next pandemic or war or calamity could strike. The proportion of borrowers in India has gone up substantially over the last decade, according to Ashish Singhal, Managing Director, Experian Credit Information Company. Here's a lesson from him.
What 2020 has taught me is the advantage of being debt-free. Borrowing when it is needed rather than borrowing when it is on offer. So think twice before you buy that luxury car or plan that exotic holiday or that fancy gadget just because it is available on EMI. So borrow when it is needed and not at the expense of creating an emergency fund.
Now we make resolutions every year. What's different though this time is that COVID will probably make us take our resolutions more seriously so that we don't fail just 2 months into the new year. Taking greater cognizance of financial stress emergencies and mitigating them is something everyone should focus on now. So here are money resolutions from our experts as we set foot into 2021. It would be almost wrong to not start off by telling you that you should
a fulsome risk assessment and immediate purchase of appropriate health and life policies. This being a decision that affects the extended family as a whole, do take professional advice.
So the New Year resolution for 2021, insurance is required by one and all, young and old, poor and rich, government and corporate. Insurance will give us the financial protection which you require in the coming year. May you prosper, may you grow, but be rest assured with a good insurance product.
Our experts cannot seem to emphasize the importance of an emergency fund enough, and rightly so. Here's what you need to do while building your emergency buffer.
I would encourage everyone to create an emergency fund covering at least 6 months' expenses. That way, we can sleep easy, preferably in our newly acquired dream home.
Yes, you heard the last few words right. Dream home. Raj Khosta believes it is a great time to buy real estate, and here's why.
Do consider purchase of property. A humongous unsold real estate inventory coupled with home loan interest rates at decade lows are two very compelling reasons for us to acquire our dream home or commercial space or retail shop. A word of caution: do stay away from speculative activity. Purchase only for self-use.
But don't get carried away either. Go by your needs only. For now is not the time to let your wants take over. Keeping your wants in check will also help you increase your contingency buffer. Here's what our expert wants you to do.
Well, I would say readjust your meter between wants and needs. Take it slightly away from wants, more towards savings or repayment of debts. It's time to focus on what really matters and how do we ensure we meet our goals, including the financial ones. And while doing so, we do so more with savings and less of debt. It's time for you to reassess your debt portfolio between secured and unsecured loans. It's time to shift from high interest bearing loans towards low interest bearing loans and save that money towards your contingency fund or emergency funds.
Investing in financial instruments is not the only way to invest or not the only investment you should engage in, believes Rituparna Chakraborty. Another kind of investment is just as important, if not more. Here's what she asks of us.
Make systematic investment plans around learning and constant learning. Picking up new skills, picking up new areas of new areas of interest, and some of them could be completely different from what you're currently doing. But if you're constantly keeping yourselves upgraded through learning and through skillings, and it need not even be formal, but it somehow ends up giving you an edge. And it's that edge which essentially will keep you relevant no matter what happens to the economy, to the world.
Dipali Sen gives us a much needed rundown on our act and actions for the coming year.
Please don't procrastinate any further. Act on your investments. Start investing. Start dotting the I's and crossing the T's by having adequate nominations in all your financial products. Ensure that all the documents are well kept, all the stakeholders are involved and informed about it. Start investing today for your tomorrow as per the goals. Seek professional help. Ensure that you are adequately covered through life and medical insurance. You have an appropriate amount of emergency fund. Start understanding risk and investing as per that. In short, act.
Make sure you have taken note of these steps as you step into the new year 2021. It has been a tough year, but hopefully it has made everyone tougher, better prepared and more informed. We wish all our viewers, readers and subscribers a new year full of health, wealth and vaccines. Stay tuned with us for more on personal finance.